Welcome to Ardbeg Day 2022, punks. It's Islay Calling. Now, we know we've got friends all across the world in different time zones, so we thought we'd get started super early here at the Ardbeg Distillery. Hey, Colin.
Hello, sir. A special hello to our committee members around the world, especially the gang at TMK Rap and Roll Bar in Hong Kong, who I'm told are having a great shindig. They've started
Fantastic.
early.
Awesome stuff.
If you're new on the scene, my name is Colin Gordon. I am the distillery manager here at Ardbeg, and I'm joined by my esteemed friend and colleague, David Blackmore, Global Brand Ambassador. Great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Happy Ardbeg Day.
Yes!
How have you been enjoying the week? It's been quite the week.
Epic week so far. All sorts of activities, but it's finally here.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas Day.
It was crazy coming in today, seeing the queues already.
Right, I know.
I'm assuming they're here to see you.
I think it's you, Colin. Come on, man. You're the man that makes the stuff.
Maybe not when they see this makeup. But we've had a cracking week. The weather's been amazing, and we're just absolutely buzzing. Been boat trips, and tastings.
Absolutely.
We did a wee tasting on Wednesday. Tasted some great stuff from the warehouse.
Fantastic.
It's been brilliant.
Plundering the warehouse.
Yeah.
You should.
But before we start, we've got quite a lineup. We're going to nose, taste, toast our way through an incredible lineup of drams, including this year's headline act, the Ardcore.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's get stuck in.
Okay, but you know, before Ardcore was even on the scene, there was the Smoky Originals, right? You know, and Ardbeg 10. Let's start there. You know, the brimful of smoke and just so intense. Why don't we start there?
Yeah, it's a trailblazer.
Right, absolutely.
Right, Ardbeg 10.
Cool.
We've got, I mean, it's the classic, and it's always sort of the benchmark and the go-to that we go back to Ardbeg 10. It's the great thing about Ardbeg, I know this year we've gone a bit different with the heavily roasted malt in Ardcore, but normally for something like a 10 we'd use heavily peated malt.
Aye.
But the great thing about it is that runs through the process, it gets to the stills, you're mixing up purifier, and it comes out at the end with the most incredible balance of soot and fruit, of smoky notes and citrus notes, and the 10 shows that off better than anything.
Peaty paradox.
Peaty paradox, absolutely.
So, cheers, mate.
Cheers, man.
Absolutely. Slanjava.
Cheers. It's like meeting up with an old friend.
It is.
We've got that wonderful. You get a lot. It's all American oak refills. Well, in fact, it's a lot of first fill in there as well. But all American oak, and you really get like a big lift on it. Like there's like a big vanilla notes, and it lifts that fruity element.
I think
like citrus.
I get almost like toffee banana coming through as well, sometimes with that vanilla all integrated so well.
I always think when we're fermenting, when you walk around the washbacks here at Ardbeg, it's like smoky bananas.
Yeah,
you just get that really like estery notes from the fermentation.
Banoffee pie.
Banoffee
right there.
Pie.
That you've set fire to on a peat bog.
I think our tasting notes could be a lot of sweet things, because they always say nose is what you grew up around, and sweeties for me every time.
We clearly like to eat, don't we?
But there's. Yeah, the smoke is there. Like, you get the great thing with Ardbeg as well. It's people talk about just peat, but there's not. It's different types of smoke. It's like a wood smoke and like bonfire, wet bonfire.
I don't get too much medicinal in Ardbeg 10. It's I get like smoky bacon as well sometimes. We've talked a lot. We haven't had anything to drink yet.
Let's have a taste. Cheers. Wow. Brilliant. You get such a good mouth coating, like an ashy wood smoke coating, but there's like intense, like fruity sweetness on the tip of the tongue. And
I like the fact that it coats the palate almost kind of waxy and creamy, but at the same time you're getting this quite drying finish.
Yeah.
Every now and then it's kind of waves of both.
Yeah, really it's brilliant. I think as well, like you always get such great mouthfeel with Ardbeg. Like it's, we don't chill filter the whiskey and stuff, but you get like a great. But I know what you mean. That coating, it's just absolutely brilliant. It's such a great whiskey.
And then that elusive kind of lime juice that comes through sometimes, right?
Absolutely, like a roasted lime or something.
Roasted lime.
A roasted,
wow.
Not that I've ever eaten any of it.
You're getting very ambitious.
Yeah, I know, getting carried away. But it is the benchmark really of what we do, and a lot of the stock we lay down is set aside for Ardbeg 10. And it's been crazy since coming in 19 months ago when I came into the job, because my first real thing here was to get the stillhouse commissioned. No pressure when you're asked to commission a new stillhouse after 100 years.
Yep.
Double in size, global pandemic.
New distillery manager,
New
no
distillery,
pressure.
no,
No pressure.
It was a doddle, really.
You've done great.
But we sort of, the key thing is always going to be your spirit quality and spirit character, because when you're doubling up and building a new still house, we've gone from 2 to 4 stills.
Right.
It's going to take a bit of time to bed in, but we just want to make sure that like everything was replicated within the millimetre. And we ran that new still house back in last March, and we're really, really happy with the spirit, because that's key. You can increase volume, but unless you're getting the spirit absolutely bang on.
And still like the best view, just amazing setup there of the distillery.
I know the window's been open a lot this week, actually.
It's actually been warm on Islay.
Yeah, I know. It's
amazing.
I know, and it's feeling warm already.
It is, right, absolutely.
But that's absolutely amazing.
Cool.
So.
Cheers.
Fantastic. Ardbeg 10.
Absolutely. Amazing stuff.
Okay, so
right.
Next on the list, we'll do another dram, I think. Look, next on the list is a feisty little number.
Feisty little number.
We're going to do the Wee Beastie.
Oh yes, let's.
So it's the youngest in the Ardbeg arsenal, if you like, and it's raw, smoky, powerful. It's got one hell of a bite to the
really
Wee
does,
Beastie.
doesn't it? Yeah.
And in fact, there's a few Wee Beasties out because the midges have returned to Islay already. But let's have a wee nose of Wee Beastie. Like, what did you think of Wee Beastie when it was launched? I mean, we stuck 5-year-old on the label. Yeah. And some people always think, when you see like a non-age statement, they think, it's going to be very young and immature. But did you think when we launched the Wee Beastie, sticking the 5 was just almost
Ardbeg, we've known that. We've had the opportunity to taste in warehouse, you know. Our young Ardbeg is great stuff. It's amazing whiskey. You get such of an impact, and that you get so much of that sort of spirit character coming through. Just gives people another, if you're an Ardbeg fan, it gives you another opportunity to explore what Ardbeg can be.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I was lucky enough when I came in, we got to taste like an array of samples.
Right.
And we did the PT pathway back in the 2000s of very young, still young, almost there. So people knew that like young Ardbeg works beautifully.
Really does.
As does some old Ardbegs that we've tasted this week.
But they're totally different,
Absolutely.
aren't they? They're different beasts. See what I did there?
Very good. But it does, it's such a great spirit to play about with, because you've got this balance of like big smoky, the intense notes, and very, very estery, fruity, floral, really almost herbal notes with Ardbeg. And like you say, the 5-year-old, and there's a mix in there of these refill American oak bourbon and some refill Oloroso sherry.
Right? Yeah.
Just gives it even almost like a straight on the nose. The smoke's there, but it's like meaty and solid.
You're
sweet
right about
as well.
the herbal notes as well.
Yeah.
It really does. There's kind of like a bowl of potpourri or something out on the peat bog.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely on a peat bog.
Right.
And that's what we did with this. It's a 5-year-old, and it's an unashamed 5-year-old, because that is the distillery character there. That's what we're producing. Yeah. And it's been a roaring success. I love the Wee Beastie.
Great whiskey.
Let's have a wee
Cheers.
taste. Cheers.
Flange.
Nice flange.
Oh, it's not shy, is it?
It's certainly not shy. I think another label just fell off. It's incredible. Like, absolutely, it's powerful. This packs a punch, but there's such great depth and warmth as well. And there is real sweetness there as well. I think there's like a toffee thing going on, but there's smoke there, like powerful wood smoke with almost like a salt and pepper and the citrus note. I think there's more of like the Ardbeg 10 we just tasted before, with like a lime note. I think there's more like a lemon citrus with that.
Absolutely. You know? And I think something about Wee Beastie as well, that power and the youthful nature of it. You know, shock horror. Some people might even want to experiment and maybe make some cocktails.
I think.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Is that a good thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good.
I think the whiskey industry's come a long way, and we've been part of that.
Absolutely.
I think the great thing about all whiskies, we have such an array of flavour and taste. I'm not just talking about different distilleries. Here at Ardbeg, we've got different wood types and different maturations. You can play about with your spirits, so there's such great opportunities. So if you've got all that range of flavour, why don't you add to
No rules, basically.
It?
The only rule is drink it however puts a smile on your face.
Absolutely.
That's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Cool. Right. Cheers.
Absolutely beautiful. I think it's so good. It's been a real popular one, BBC. I think it's such a great dram to compare again to the 10. It just shows you how that 5 years extra, if you like, maturation sort of mellows the 10 slightly more, but the 5, there's just so much to it. And hopefully we're readdressing this discussion about young whiskey, the 5-year-old.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
So,
okay.
what do you think?
I think it's great. Shall we move on?
Yeah. Well, finally, guys, the main event, the one we've all been waiting to see, from a distillery with more ups and downs than a pogoing punk, comes Ardcore. Hey,
excellent. I'm buzzing for this. I think it was described by Dr. Bill Lumsden,
the man,
our main man, whiskey creator, as like biting on a spiky ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he knows what that's like, but maybe we'll just move on.
It's powerful stuff, and it's got some mouthfeel. We tasted it a few times this week.
Yes.
I mean, it's been created with like roasted black malt, and a lot of people were almost nervous about brewers and back in the day about using black malt, because it's like it's almost incinerated in the kiln, and it's what defines the distinctive profile of Ardbeg Ardcore. It's like wears its heart on its
it's just
sleeve.
there for massive flavour introduction. It's not really contributing anything to the fermentation, right? There's nothing there fermentable.
It's actually much more difficult to ferment. When we brought in the black malt, you couldn't mash. You wouldn't want to do like 100% black malt because it's been heated to such high temperatures in the kiln. When you mill it, it just goes like dust.
Yeah.
So normally a maltster, when they're giving you or selling you something like black malt, heavily roasted malt, they might just say, right, use up to 10% of your mash or 15%. It's Ardbeg, we went 25%.
Oh, of course,
we pushed it, right?
Rebels. So it's a little known fact that Colin's not actually wearing makeup, that is actually black malt on his face.
Absolutely. Right? I'm bathing the stuff now. It's very good. Keeps me youthful. But
is that your secret?
Absolutely. It's out now. But the black malt that we brought in has... It's interesting because we play a fair bit with malts in the business, and you can get things like chocolate malt that the distilleries use, Glenmorangie, obviously our sister distillery, and it's what's happening is when you're kilning, when you're drying the malt, if you're putting on a lot of temperature, you start to almost like effect. It's called the Maillard reaction. If you're wanting some googling for later,
is that to do with ducks?
That's the Maillard reaction.
Sorry, yes.
The Maillard
that joke.
The Maillard reaction. And what's going to happen is as you're heating, the husk of the barley starts to like almost caramelise. Yeah. And that's how you get chocolate malt, and then you can push it even further up to black malt by getting even more heat in it.
It's the same process that if you're toasting a piece of bread, you get that nice golden sort of toast on your toast. That gives you that lovely flavour, right? Yeah. It's the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
Absolutely.
Shall we?
Hang on, we've got a note coming in here.
Shout outs. Let me see. Hamish Burgess says... what's it? Can you read this? Sorry. Ailshire from Manny Malt's
Whiskey Club in
Hawaii.
Fantastic.
And, hey, Dwayne Large says hello.
Hello, Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne.
Great to hear you guys
absolutely.
are joining us.
Fantastic.
Must be late over there,
must be.
It's good. Well, I hope
very early.
I'm so pleased you're tuned in to join.
A breakfast dram.
Absolutely. Right, let's have a wee nose and taste then of Ardcore.
100%.
Cheers. Let's have a wee nose of this.
Love it.
It's so different from that.
Yeah.
Bill was describing this as well when they were putting together the Ardcore. They wanted, when they filled it, when we mashed it, it was 25% of this black malt, this heavy, almost charred malt, and then 75%, the rest of the mash bill was actually made up with lower phenol malt because we didn't want the smoke to sort of overwhelm it. Yeah. And then, but because it was the new make spirit when it ran off the stills was like powerful stuff and intense. We filled a lot of first fill American oak, a lot of ex-bourbon first fills to try and lift it to elevate,
give it some more that creaminess, bit of body. Yeah,
absolutely. Totally. So
fantastic.
It's unbelievable in the nose. It's like,
gosh,
like dark chocolate, and almost coffee-like.
Don't take this the wrong way, but it kind of reminds me like ashtray.
Yeah,
right? Isn't that weird?
Absolutely. Wow, there's loads to it. It's unbelievable stuff. Let's better have a wee taste. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow.
Right.
Well, you're talking there about toast, you know,
Yeah.
and there's almost like a burnt toast
Yeah,
there.
bit of burnt
It's
toast.
savoury. It's like that umami, like mushroom sort of. There's like a real savoury note to it.
Burnt toast with lime marmalade. There you go.
Fantastic. I'm so glad they let you back in the country when you're bringing notes like that with you. Absolutely beautiful. It's
pretty
incredible
special, right?
stuff. Yeah, I think there was already a queue when we came in, and
There was
clearly like a
that was
lot
just to park in the car park.
There's going to be a lot of excitement about this today. I mean, what have you been your highlights so far of the week? I mean, it's obviously the first time we've had you back in a number of years.
First time I've ever done Ardbeg Day at Ardbeg.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, amazing. I'm loving it. It's fantastic.
And what about highlights of the week for you? Is there anything you thought, this is Islay, this is what the week's all about?
You know, taking the boat from the old Ardbeg pier and going out around the coast, and you know the seafood's so fresh, and we've got a bottle of Corryvreckan with us, and and the sun was shining. I was getting sunburn. It doesn't get any better.
That's a true West Coast experience. I'm delighted.
Getting bitten by midges, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it's been such a great week for it. So we're really excited.
Really
for
has.
it. Is it right? Let's just try one. Absolutely sensational. I think the great thing about Ardbeg is we're here today to share great whiskey with great people, man. Yourselves and the people that are here, and that's an absolute cracker, so I hope you're enjoying that wherever you are. I mean, absolutely, what a whiskey.
Absolutely.
Sensational. Okay.
So guys, wherever you are, we hope you hang around with us to watch all of the punkery unfold live today. We'll be kicking things off officially at 2 p.m. GMT today. So get comfy, and there'll be still lots more to come, hey?
Cheers, David.
Right,
See you,
cheers,
catch you later. Cheers. Slán.
Cheers, guys.